Okay, so we're going to talk about how the quadratic formula comes about. And when we do that, we're literally starting from something that we already know how to do, which is complete the square. Only what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to do this for a general form. Now, the first thing that we know about completing the square is, so we're going to take this and we're going to just complete the square. And the first thing I know is that I don't like to have a leading coefficient here. So I'm going to take this entire thing and I'm going to divide both sides of this by a. So that's going to leave me with x squared plus this b over a x plus c over a is equal to 0. Now I'm going to move this other term over. So I'm going to subtract c over a from both sides. So I've got x squared plus b over ax is equal to negative c over a. So we're now ready to kind of complete the square. And remember, what we're going to do is we're going to take half of this middle term, so 1/2 of that b over a, and we're going to square it. So this is part of where this is coming from. We're going to add this to both sides. So when I square both sides, that's going to be plus b squared over 4a squared. And now I know from experience that I can factor this, and it was just this term over here. Now, this is still a little bit messy. So I need to figure out how to add these two things together. So I've got this. I'm going to put that b squared at first. So b squared over our 4a squared minus our c over a. And I need to have a common denominator. It looks like I've already got a factor of a down here, so I'll need another a to make this an a squared, and I'll need a 4 as well. So now I've got a common denominator. This is going to be b squared over our 4a squared minus 4ac over our 4a squared. So this is b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. This is still equal to our x plus b over 2a squared. Now, if you're not following this, try doing this with just some whole numbers and see what happens. It probably would work out a little bit easier for your head. Just remember that anytime when you add this, it's literally, when we're doing this, this is usually where people get lost. It's in factoring this. But we took half of this because I know that half of that is what should be in this perfect square trinomial. It might work better to sort of confirm it for yourself if we were to take this and FOIL that out and we'd come up with this. But let's move ahead with this for now. From here, oops, something was just sticking together here. Let's go ahead and, oops. Now let's go ahead and take the square root of both sides. When I apply the square root property, I'm going to end up with that x plus b over 2a is equal to plus or minus the square root of this b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. And now from here, I can simplify that. That's going to be x plus my b over 2a. And this is, I'll have plus or minus, let's do this, b squared minus 4ac all over the square root of 4a squared. We'll have x plus this b over 2a is equal to plus or minus this b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And finally, whoops, must have had some water on my page here. Finally, I will subtract b over 2a from both sides. So I'll end up with x is equal to negative b over 2a plus or minus this square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Since this is all over the same denominator anyway, we can just put this as a single expression. B squared minus plus or minus the square root of b, or negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And that is how we find the quadratic formula. We literally started from this, we completed the square, and we got to that. And this is what we do. Alrighty.